Shalom, Yasharala. This is your brother Dawud from GMS Tampa Bay 07, coming at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well and that taught me this truth. And salutations to you, Akim, this pushing this truth with sincerity on the four corners of the earth. I've been getting to this here quick lesson. Pretty much dealing with these so-called Christians, you know, the ones that's coming up against us. You know, you got the James White, the Edomite, Vocab, Malone crew, and your boy G-Man, you know. And this pretty much is going into pretty much what's going on over there with those guys, you know. So we're going to just start out here in the book of Matthew chapter 12. I'm going to start at verse 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. If Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall his kingdom stand? Okay? And so, roughly, you know, paraphrasing what's going on here, it's like saying, you know, for an example, if, you know, you have a football team, right? And, you know, you got the guys in the same jersey, you know. If they, you know, warring against each other, you know, the other team is not really their enemy. You know, they can't stand together as a, you know, you got the blockers, you know. If the blockers aren't blocking the quarterback, then the quarterback can't quite get his pass off, you know. So they got to work together as one unit, you know. Or just in anything, you know. You try to work with something where you have to have, you know, a pair about something, you know. Anything, you know, where you need balance. You know, you have your car. You got your tires going one direction. You know, you can't have your front tires going one direction, your back tires going the other direction, you know. You can't have a train pulling from both sides of the ends, you know. It's going to divide itself, you know. Same as with, you know, basically like it's like order, you know. If McDonald's is trying to sell Big Macs, you know, but then you got certain McDonald's that's want to sell in that other burger, the Whoppers, you know, then obviously, you know, you can't have, you know, a legitimate business, you know. Some people go into McDonald's trying to order a Big Mac, but then they find out they got Whoppers. Now they're going to stop fucking with McDonald's, you know. They're like, damn, y'all don't ever have what I want when I come and get it, and vice versa. So you need to be consistent in what you're doing, you know. You got to be basically on one accord. How, you know, roughly paraphrasing, how can two walk together, you know, at least they be on one accord, you know. We got to have the same mission and motive in mind, you know. So, you know, and one of the things about, you know, the difference between us and them is, you know, we don't want to accord with each other. You know, we teach the same doctrine, you know, we teach the same thing. We all believe in the same thing the same way, you know. There's no strife and contention amongst us in the brotherhood, you know. However be it, you know, these Christians, they only really have one thing in common, you know, well, one major thing in common. It's that they just coming against us, you know. But they all, just like, you know, regular Christianity, you know, you got all these so-called Christians, but they got different denominations, you know. These Christians believe a little different than those Christians. These Christians believe a little different than those Christians. Well, I mean, are y'all really a Christian group? Like, how you know, you look at all these different denominations, like how you have all these different religions and denominations, but y'all all reading out the Bible, you know. It's just confusion. It just means that y'all don't know what y'all talking about, basically, you know. Next scripture I'm going to grab. This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears, and they shall turn their ears from the truth and shall be turned to fables. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. Okay? So it says, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. You know, and, you know, that's this truth, you know. For the most part, you know, none of us was actually into this truth when we was born, you know. We had to come to this truth, you know. But, and you know, you have to endure into that, you know. You have to stay, you know, in this truth, you know. You have to stay grounded in this truth. But then, you know, you also have scenarios where, you know, let's say, for instance, G-Man, you know, obviously he was going off to begin with preaching Christianity. Now he came across the Israelites, you know, so truth is being told unto him, but yet he's not wanting to deal with that, you know. He want to keep going back. Like it says, time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. So basically, besides the teacher, getting these teachers, you know, they go after their own lust, you know. They want to go after whatever sounds good unto them, you know. This is pleasing to me, this and that, you know. We was in the same boat as G-Man at one point in time. We had known that bullshit Christianity, but when we came across the truth, we had to actually do our due diligence and research and figure things out, you know. Our feelings might have been hurt that we was wrong here and there, this and that, but that's just, you know, that ain't what's important. The important part is that you actually right, you know, because your soul is at hand. But, you know, they got that pride. They don't want to, you know, look like that they was wrong on something. So, you know, they just keep going in their own wickedness, in their own darkness. But nevertheless, when you get those type of people coming around, you have other people who are in their wickedness and stuff like that, and they want these people to pacify what's going on with them, you know. So, for instance, you know, you could have, you know, a person who's not really into religion or Christianity or anything like that, you know, a guy, and all of a sudden now he's got him a so-called a white woman, you know, an Edomite woman, you know, and now she's trying to get him to go to church or whatever, whatnot, and, you know, for the old lady, he's going to start going to church or listening to these scripts, you know, and now he realizes his old lady's looking at him sideways for listening to something that's similar to the Israelite doctrine, you know, and then he's like looking at her, looking at him weird, and now he's making the transition to just going to the church for her, you know. He wanted to hear what was going to satisfy him and his old lady, you know. She wanted to hear that everything going to be all right. They can eat pork. They can do whatever. Jesus love them no matter what, you know. They want to go out to the club Friday, Saturday, and go to church on Sunday, and then go back on Monday and keep doing their wickedness, you know, because that's pleasing to them. That's keeping them, you know, they don't have to change them. They can keep doing their wickedness, and then they can feel like that they being accepted by the Most High in their wickedness, you know. So this is why they heap onto themselves these teachers, you know. They just want to be pacified and be told everything is all right, you know. Same as with some of these churches now. You see a lot of a great influx of people going to church now because of the homosexuality thing, you know. A lot of these churches are now being put on blast, so where now they have to openly accept homosexuals. And so now you start to see a great influx of new members going into these churches, you know. And for what? Exactly what I just explained. You know, these homosexuals know that they off and they going off, but they trying to soothe their spirit a little bit by so-called going to church and being told, you know, they paying these pastors off with these collection plates just to tell them whatever they want to hear, you know. They want to be told that they're going to make it into heaven, everything going to be all right, God still loves them, even in their wickedness and their homosexuality, you know. And they being told, you know, judgment, they going to roll around and the Most High ain't going to judge nobody, you know. He going to just save everybody, nobody going to catch judgment, you know. You're going to be able to do all your wickedness throughout your whole life. And, you know, the Most High going to just forgive everybody for everything and just like, you know what, I fucked up the world, you know. You know, my bad. Y'all all off the hook, you know. This is what's inside their mind. This is why they keep going on with their wickedness. They don't believe in no real judgment day. They believe, all those so-called Christians believe they're going to be all right in that day, you know. Because they went to these pastors with their itching ears just telling them what they wanted to hear, you know. And that's like really one of the big hang-ups with, you know, with G-Man and all that, you know. He want to be accepted by his Edomite friends, you know. He don't want to look bad around these Edomites, you know. You hear how he speak with his soft tone and, you know, shaved head and all that stuff, trying to fit in, be accepted by these Edomites, you know. Because, I don't know, man, why he need to feel accepted by them, you know, out of all people, you know, especially listening to what we telling you, you know. Where you have other Edomites that's agreeing with us, you know, but because they agree with us, he don't want acceptance from those Edomites. He wanted from the other Edomites that he, you know, feel like is in some kind of power. But nowadays, they all, you know, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Next scripture we're going to get is in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 6. It says, howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect. Okay? So, like, you know, you listen to these videos or on highways and the byways here at camp, you know, we speaking wisdom to those that are perfect, you know. What does that mean? The ones that we telling you, hey man, you need to stop eating pork, you know what I'm saying? And then the way you take it is, you know what? Oh, where is that in the scriptures? Okay, we showed you in the scriptures, and he's like, you know what? You're right. Let me stop eating pork because the Most High said so, you know. I don't want to be disrespectful, you know. But at the same time, you know, we got these other ones that we're going to get to, you know, they're like, hey man, you need to stop eating pork. And they're like, oh, we can eat pork. The law's done away with. Jesus died for my sins, you know. We're going to see what happened to those people. It says, howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, you know, the ones that take heed and repent, you know. Yet not the wisdom of this world, okay, and the wisdom that we actually get is the wisdom of these scriptures, you know. Because the wisdom of the world tell you that two men can have sex, you know. Tell you that two men and two women can go get married and raise a child, you know. That's the wisdom of this world. It says, yet not the wisdom of the world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. Yeah, like I was saying, you know, like it says here, it says we speak wisdom among them that are perfect. The ones that are perfect are the ones that's going to take heed to being told that they're going off and come correct, you know. But it says, but not the wisdom of the world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. What does that mean? That you see these governors, the presidents and stuff like that, spreading homosexuality or making it law, you know, legal. You know what I'm saying? Now you see this, and transgenderism and stuff like that, and they're like, well, it's a disease, and these people are confused and this and that. Well, you changing their sexes is going to further fuck it up for them, you know? Now you see the suicide rate is skyrocketing, you know? You wonder what's going on. Like, you know, you got all these homosexual people walking around, and, you know, you telling everybody they can do whatever, whatnot, you know? Free and independent women, and, you know, you can be as promiscuous as you want, thoughts and sluts and whores. Now you see the conditions of the people now. You can't have a healthy relationship. Men don't want to be men. Women don't want to be women. Nobody want to take responsibility. Nobody's in the household to raise up children. You know, so you got a bunch of chaos and monsters walking around, you know. That's the wisdom of this world, you know. It says, but we speak the wisdom of Yahweh in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which Yahweh ordained before the world unto our glory, which none of the princes of this world knew, for had they known, they would have not crucified Yahushua of glory. So, again, you know, well, like the scriptures say, the God of this world has blinded them, you know. But nevertheless, these are these 2/3 and these heathen, you know what I'm saying? More to, like, we're going to just speak about the 2/3 because the heathen ain't going to get it regardless. You know what I'm saying? But these 2/3, you know what I'm saying, they still going back and forth with this heathen doctrine, you know. They want to keep clinging on to the heathen, you know. But it says in verse 7, but we speak wisdom of Yahweh in mystery. And it's not really anything deep. It's not really no real deep mystery. It's really plain to see, but it's a mystery unto them because they just can't get it, you know. They can't get that Esau's their oppressor and Esau trying to kill their ass and got something prepared for them, you know. They can't get that it was written about that they was going to come over into this land on cargo slave ships, you know. They was going to be sold by the Africans unto the Grecians, you know, which was written about in the scriptures, you know. They can't understand that. That's a mystery unto them, you know. Like G-Man, he can't understand that, you know, if you ask him, he wants to think he a scholar and this and that, but he cannot answer the question, why did so-called Negroes go into slavery? Where was Negroes before they went into slavery? What was some of their customs? What was their language? What was their religion? And you can't just say they was in Africa. Africa is a continent. What part of Africa were they in? And before you got them off the Gold Coast, the Slave Coast, the Ivory Coast, before you got them from over there, where did they come from before that, you know? Give me some history. Give me something like that, you know? You can't just tell me, oh, they was just savages. Don't worry about that. That was in the past, you know? Every other nation on the planet Earth know about their history, but you can't learn about your own history. You know, this is that how do you say that mystery unto them, you know? They do way more stuff trying to cover up the fact that they don't understand certain things than the fact that they just have to look at certain stuff, you know? Like Deuteronomy 28:68 describes how we got over here, you know? And Joel 3:6 describes who brought us over here, okay? And, you know, other prophecies tell you about, you know, them that dwells in the clefts of the rock, you know, going to come as fast as the eagle flies, you know, those type of things, you know. They can't break down none of those mysteries. They can't break down none of the prophecies, and yet they just come out with certain things, you know, like they do in church. Oh, it's spiritual, brother. It's spiritual. Whenever they don't have an answer to something, it's just spiritual. You got to spiritually believe. They spiritually this, they spiritually that. You know, they'll tell you that here's a mystery that these Christians talk about. Yahushua. They say, when they talk about so-called Jesus, they say, we say he was a so-called black man, you know. Oh, he was a spirit. He was a spirit, you know. He was a spirit, you know. He was like everybody. Like, okay, so how did they, you know, why would they call a spirit a wine bibber? Like, when did spirits get thirsty? When did spirits get hungry? How you going to catch a spirit and crucify a spirit on a cross? And when that spirit that you crucified on the cross gave up the ghost, explain that to me. You see what I'm saying? So these things are these things are the mysteries unto them, you know. But it's simple unto us, you know. Let me grab my last precept. Hold on. Let me go back up to verse 6 one more time. It says, howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect. You know, the men of the Lord that we preaching to on the other side of the video and stuff like that, they understand this is nothing far off. There's no debate with that, you know. But it says, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor the princes of this world that come to naught. Yeah, so these other people of this world, their counsels and all their stuff is, it keeps failing them, because of the fact that, they're not rooted in the truth. They're not rooted in, Yahweh, let me grab this, I think. This is Acts chapter 5, verse 38. It says, and now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone, for if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of Yahweh, you cannot overthrow it, lest happily you be found even to fight against Yahweh. Okay? So, you can look at this both ways, When you're coming into this truth, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're looking at this truth, that's just the faith that you gotta believe in, I mean, that ain't even nothing to really try to have to believe in. It's a proven fact. You're not gonna get one up on the Most High, The Most High is all knowing, He just the highest of the highest. So you ain't gonna just get one over on Him, That's not possible, because His ways are so high up above your ways. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with this truth and sincerity, the way that the Most High had it broke down, you can't come against that, At least you fighting with the Most High, like the scriptures say, You so-called trying to prove the Most High wrong, like, this and that, like, man, you're going to drive yourself nuts. But, however, if it's just something of man, with G-Man and Vocab Malone, they trying to come up with their little squad and whatnot, they can't even agree with each other, and stay on the same sound doctrine with each other. They got disagreements with each other. Not only are they trying to fight with us, they fighting with each other, putting each other down, exposing each other, But I thought they was Christians. I thought they was real brethren, have real brotherly love for each other. Why are they exposing each other like that, Why is their little groups and stuff coming to naught? Why is their counsel failing them, Why are they over here on straights? Why is it the G-Man is like, I can't take this no more. I'm tired of all of this and tired of all of that, and now I got to throw in the towel, What are you throwing in the towel for, You ain't getting no death threats. Ain't nobody trying to fight you or nothing like that, Like, you just can't agree. You can't take that people don't agree with you. Like, first of all, you teaching some fucked up shit. It's not right. Obviously, they're not going to. It's like, nah, bruh. It's not going to agree. It's like you trying to goddamn put a motorcycle engine inside of a fucking 747 airplane and get that bitch to take off full of passengers and fly on route. And be like, you're never going to get that to work because that engine wasn't designed to carry an airplane, to propel an airplane. It's just not going to work. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why you mad and frustrated that it's not going to work. Maybe if you was doing the right thing, putting an airplane engine in an airplane, a motorcycle engine in a motorcycle, you might have some success, But, these people, again, they're not in sound doctrine, Like we read, I think it was Timothy's about having itching ears. They're not going to endure sound doctrine. They want itching ears. They just want to be pacified in their wickedness, Like in John 3:19 says, like, the condemnation is the light coming to the world, but men hate the light. They rather the darkness because they deeds was evil. They don't want to be exposed from doing their evil shit, So they need these men with these itching ears to go out there. There's good money in that, Think about, there's only 144,000 of the elect, and 1/3, So you take that number and you minus that from the rest of the people on the population of the earth, okay? And that number you come up with is how many people is wicked. So all them people is wicked. They trying to cover up something, trying to get a cloak, And this is why they, you got all these people trying to get a covering or something. They need to be pacified and keep doing their wickedness. What do? You open up a church. You're like, you pass around, sow a seed with the Lord, and the Lord going to prosper you. He want to see you rich and doing good. He want to see you blessed. But all along, you don't realize that you're catching that hell that you're catching is because you're going off, But you think you're going to pay off, pay your little debts with some little money and then everything going to be all right, And you get pacified by what the pastor say. Oh, yeah, you could be homosexual. The Most High don't hate the person. He don't hate the sinner. He hates the sin. So you can keep, penetrating that dude in his rectum with your rod. And the Most High, he just hates the action. He don't hate you. You could be all right. Just give her $20 and the Lord going to bless you. This is the shit that they got going on, But again, like the scriptures say, like, it says, if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught, you know? And you start to see that, you know, every time you see in the Catholic Church being exposed for their pedophilia, you know? But, like I said, we were speaking on G-Man and these other Christians that's coming up against us. You know, they ain't really getting no good traction, no real following. Obviously, they didn't have none of that to begin with, you know? They're not getting no real limelight until they started coming up against the Israelites, you know? So, you know, the things that they really just doing it for fame and some kind of attention, you know? They're really nobodies in the world. They're trying to take some kind of glory, you know? But, you know, they all being brought to naught, you know, and they can't handle it. They can't handle it, you know? They wasn't built for this. They wasn't built to endure the things. They wasn't built to endure as a good soldier, put it that way, you know, like the scriptures say, you know? The men of the Lord was called out to be good soldiers. They was built for this, you know? We're going to endure this until the end, you know? Lord willing, I'm a part of that number, you know? But G-Man and all these other guys, they wasn't on that side, so they was made to be broken, and this is why you start to see them being broken, you know? And it should be evident, you know, how you say, which doctrine is the true doctrine, you know? The apostles is a great millstone, been out on the highways and the byways 30 years and still pushing. You know, I wonder how long G-Man been out there pushing, you know? And people that's like-minded like him. But nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and close out with this. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love to you. I came on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with sincerity and enduring afflictions. Stay strong. Shalom.